Hey everyone, my name is Will Peters. I'm the founder of Bookji, a new book platform for young readers. And in this video, I'm going to be showing teachers and librarians how they can use the platform with their students. Hi everyone, so this is what it looks like when you get to gobookji.com, the homepage of our website. And what I'm going to show you how to do first is create an account. And so what you're going to want to do is click right here on register. And it's going to take you to this page where you're going to click on join a school or start trial. And once you get to this page, this is kind of two different options. So you can either join an existing school that already has an account with Bookji as an educator, or you can create a new school account. So I'll show you how to join a school that already exists in a second, but first I'm going to walk you through how to create a new school. So the first thing you're going to want to do is type in your school, and you can find it pretty easily, but if you don't find your school, what you can do is click this Add School button, and it'll prompt you with a few questions about your school, and then you can add it to this list and come back, and it'll be available for you to select. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm going to type in my name, my email, a username, change this to educators, and a password. And I'm going to click this button and click sign up your school. So there you have it. It's that easy to sign up your school and start your trial. So right now, it's going to be a 30-day trial. After 30 days, you'll be locked out of your account, but you can go and explore everything that Bookji can do for your students. And so the next part of the video, I'm going to show you how to join on to an existing school and sort of show you how to set up all different accounts like students and get all that admin sorted out before I go into more depth on the platform. So to sign up as an educator and join an existing school, we're going to come back to this page that we were just on, and instead of clicking New School, we're going to click Join a School. So same situation, we're going to type in the school. The school is using Bookji. I'm going to type in a name, username, and a password. And so I'm going to click Join School. And what it's going to tell me is that I'll get an email to my email that I gave the form. And once I've been approved by the educator in my school, I'll be able to log in and access all the features as long as the school has subscribed or is in a free trial. So next, I'm going to show you as an educator and as an administrator how to accept this person to your school. So to accept an educator that requests to join your school, you're going to first click on the three dots, the More button on the navigation bar. And you can see that before there wasn't a little 1 here, and now it seems that I have a notification. So I'm going to click on Notifications, and here it is. Here's the educator that requested to join my school, and it's as easy as either accepting or deleting this request. And so once I accept the request, to wait a second, but it says that the account has been added to your school. So it's that easy to add another teacher onto your school, and they can go and create classes, add students, and basically use all the Bookji while the school is subscribed. So to create a class and have students join your class, you're going to click on More again and go to My School. And so basically what this is showing us is a list of all the table is empty right now, but normally it's a list of all the classes that are in your school. So to show you this, I'm going to go ahead and add a class. And you can either give this like a grade name or the actual name of the class or really anything you want. I'm going to go ahead and call this grade 5. I'm going to type in the actual grade of the class. And it is an active class, so I'm going to keep that as active. And I'm going to add that. And so what you'll see is immediately it pops up, and this is a new class. It has 0 students. You can see the grade. You can edit the class or delete the class. And what's most important probably is this class code. So this is how students are going to join your class, and you're going to have to administer this code to the students in any way you choose. But they're going to use this to create their own account, so it saves you the time of inputting in all the students or doing it a different way. You're going to give them this class code so that they can join the class. And so I'll show you right now how your students can go about joining the class. So what I'm going to do is copy this class code and show you how to do that. So the way your students can log in and sign up as a part of your class is going to the homepage and clicking on this create an account with a class code button. And so what you'll see is you'll have to enter a class code. This is the class code from the class that I just created. And so I'm going to hit start. It's going to prompt me for some information about myself as a student. So my name is could be anything, Mary Smith, and then I'm going to create a username, Mary Smith, and a password. And so the email is optional. Either if the student has an email, they can use that to log in, or if they don't, a lot of students might not have an email who are using this platform. So you can leave that blank or fill it in if they'd like. And so what I'm going to do is click sign up. And there I am. Here I'm a student, and I am now logged in as Bookji and a part of the grade 5 class that I just created. And so what I'm going to show you now how to do is go onto the class page of your class and show you how the students can interact with their classmates. So what I did was I logged back in as an educator, as a school administrator, to show you how you can access your class page and basically show you also what the students are going to see when they go to interact with their classmates in their class. So I'm on the home page again, and what I'm going to do is click on my school, and I'm going to go to the grade that, or the class that I want to view, and click on this little button here with the class page icon. And so this is what a class is going to look like on the student end as well. And as you can see right away, you can see people in this class, different students. You can see the class code, the grade, and different posts that students have made to the class. I'll go over more about how to make posts and what you can do with them later in this video, but basically you can make a post right here to the class. You can check out the activity of the class, so I can see that one of my students reacted to this post with a heart icon, and she also reacted to this post with a heart icon. Just different activity in the class, seeing what kind of posts what other students like, seeing what posts that they make or what books they read, or what books they started, what books they added to their reading list, those kind of things, just so other students can see what they're doing with different books and become inspired to read through their classmates. And so that's one of the sections in the class page. Another section is favorite books. So this comes from when you're on the profile, when you go to your own profile page, which is located right here. You have your own profile, similar to other social media websites, that is like either a public or private profile. And you can select favorite books on that profile. And so this is kind of a compilation of all of the favorite books from everyone in the class. And so each vote, when you add a book to your favorite book, when you add a book to your favorite books list, it'll make a vote essentially for that book within your class. And so you can see kind of what the most popular books are in the class, and it's kind of a way of ranking the favorite books within a class and inspiring students to read in that way. And so you can also see just another view of what students are in this class. And another really cool feature is you can see on a map what everyone has read and all the places that they've been while reading. So for example, this classmate of mine or friend has read these books, and it'll show you where they are located on a map. And some of them, this one, for example, doesn't have a location, but another student, this student Thomas Bartley, he has read a few different books, and one of them was Little Princess, and you can see kind of where these are located. So Little Princess takes place in London. It's just a really interesting way of mapping out on a map where all the students have been to when reading, and it just syncs up right with when you go. So there's a page on this on Bookji that is called My Books, that basically lets you add locations, and I'll show you how to do that later. So it allows you to add locations to books that you've read, and so basically when you're on this class page, it syncs up all those locations within the whole class, and everyone can see where everyone has been. So that's essentially the class page and how students can interact with their classmates. They can see posts and activity and places on a map that everyone's been. And so the next thing that I'm going to walk you through is more of the features of Bookji and how students are really going to be interacting with the platform. So the first feature on Bookji is the feed page. And so what this is it's similar to other social media websites where you can view posts about from different people that you have followed. And so right now I'm logged in as a teacher, and it's the same view essentially for a student. And right here it is, at least, right on this post, on the post section of it, the students have a little more limited options, but I'll explain that in a second. But basically this feed page is a way of seeing everything you follow and all the content you follow. Also, if you follow someone and they react to a post with an emoji, you can also see that. So for example, this account follows Bookji, and Bookji reacted to this post with a fire emoji and this post is actually from a topic, which I'll get into a little bit later in the video, but it's basically another thing that you can follow different content about books. This one's about Harry Potter, and so Bookji follows this topic, and they reacted to one of their posts. And so basically you can just see all the posts you follow and all the content that you follow. Another way of kind of filtering through this content is over here on the right-hand side, where you can filter posts. And so I can see all of them, or just posts from people I follow, or just post the topics that I follow. Click that. I don't follow any topics, but so it doesn't come up. But I can also do my classes, and it'll have a drop-down list of classes or people that I follow. So basically, there's different ways of filtering on this homepage, and yeah, you can easily find different content that you're interested in and follow those things, and they'll appear right on this page. So that's one feature about Bookji, is that it kind of takes this element of social media and it makes it all about books. And so you can also follow different librarians, and it's not just about following, time travel books as an example here, or Harry Potter books. You can also follow people and see what they're posting about book related. So also what you're going to see on this page is this little section here that allows you to make a post. And so I'm going to walk you through this really quick here. Basically, it's very intuitive and simple. You can kind of type out your caption for the post, and then what you'll see appear is this audience button. And so what's really cool about Bookji is you can make posts to a specific audience. Once you have a profile, you don't have to just make posts to your profile page. You can you can change who sees your post. So for example, if I click on audience, what I can do is I can either make this post to educators, which means that only other educators on the platform will be able to see this post. So if a student is either following your account or is a part of one of your classes, they will not see this post anywhere. It will only be to other librarians or teachers that follow your account. So you can add that. You can make it just to students, so any educators that are following an account won't see it. Only students that are following you will see it, or you can add both of them, or you can make it to one of your classes that you created. And so that's one of the cool features about making posts on Bookji. The other cool features is in these buttons down here. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can make a post. You can either add a book cover image, so I can search for a book. I can use Harry Potter as an example. So Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets, for example. And you can see that it pops up right here. That's one option for making a post, and I could post about this book like that. I could also use a GIF. So we get the GIFs from an API that has all these GIFs, and they're all G-rated. But basically, what you do is you can pair a GIF to a book. So say I chose this book, and then or this GIF, and I wanted to say that a little princess was like this. So I could save this, and there's kind of my GIF book post. And yeah, I can either choose to post this, or I can choose a different sort of medium. I can add one of my emoji reactions that I have made, and it'll appear like this on the screen. Or what I can also do is I can add a YouTube video. So just go and find a YouTube video that is related to books, paste in the link, click this button, and the YouTube video will appear. Now, what you can also do is you can also add some tags to your post. So I can tag a genre. So this book is about, it's sort of an adventure book that's also about, real life. And so I could tag the genre of the book, realistic fiction, and save, and those will pop up there. I can also tag a location. So this book takes place in London. I can search up London right there on the map. I can save that, and London will be tagged in this post as well. So then I can go ahead and click this post icon, and it'll make a post. So I'll have to go to this filter, but there's my post that I see. In the all posts filter. So that's kind of the essence of the feed page. And next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another feature that we have called Emoji Search. So this is the Emoji Search page, and it's a really cool feature, and it's really interesting for young readers to use. And so basically what it does is it takes all the emoji reactions, we call them on Bookji, and it compiles them into a searchable feature on the site. So what that means is basically every time you read a book, and I'll show you this later in the video, but every time you read a book, you can react to the book with emojis. And so say you read The War That Saved My Life, you could be like, wow, this book was mind-blowing, and I could add that reaction. And so what this page does is it takes all the reactions across the US from students, and it compiles them. And you can search by if an emoji is interesting to you, you can choose one and search books by what other students have said about it. So I really think that mind-blowing is something that I would find interesting in a book. So here I have a bunch of mind-blowing books, and this is all from what other students have said. And what's really cool about this is that I probably would never have read The War That Saved My Life when I was in grade school, just because, judging from the cover, Looks like it's about a girl and horses, and it probably just wasn't my type of book that I would have been interested in. But seeing that this is the book that has the most mind-blowing reactions to it on the site, I'm a lot more inclined, myself personally, to pick up this book and give it a try. And so that's kind of how it works. You can search different emojis. Fire is one that seems very interesting to me, or heartwarming books that might be interesting to someone else. And you can scroll through these emojis. You can also filter by genre, so if I want to find heartwarming books that are adventure, I can do that, and I can also filter by grade. So these are all for 6th graders. So that's kind of how Emoji Search works, and it's a really fun way and different way of finding books. And so the next thing I'm going to show you how to do and use on Bookji is called Places Search, which is another way to find books. So this is called Places Search on Bookji, and what it is a interactive map for students that shows where books are located. And so what you see immediately is a featured book. What you can do is you can click on that book, and it will zoom into the location that it takes place in. And as you can see, as it's zooming in, all these different pins are collections of books. So I can zoom in, that's from the Bronx, but I can zoom in on Manhattan, and I can kind of check out different places in Manhattan where books take place. So, for example, if a student lived in Manhattan, they could kind of see really down to the streets, what books take place where. So, for example, Eloise at the Plaza is set at the Plaza, and that's exactly at the Plaza Hotel there. There's other books that are set at the MoMA, which is right there, or at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, or just in Central Park, or in Manhattan. This is called a collection of books, but there's a lot of books that take place in Manhattan. I can click on View All Books, and I'm basically given a list of all these books that take place here. And it's just a really cool way of exploring, books from places that you're from, and also places you might be interested in. So, for example, you could be interested in, say, books from South Africa. And so I could zoom in on South Africa. I could see that, wow, 77 books are in South Africa. But I could also zoom in, and I've heard a lot about, Cape Town, and I could see what books take place around Cape Town. I could go over to Johannesburg, see what books take place there. And so it's just a really cool way of exploring books. And also, if you find a book that you really like, and say it was set in Japan, you could go to Japan and you could see, oh, here are other books that are set in Japan. Maybe this will be interesting to me. So it's just a new way and a really interactive way of, finding a book that you could be interested in, but also teaching kids about geography. So I think it's really important for kids to be interacting with maps and looking at them and building their geographic knowledge. And so that's kind of the essence of this feature called Places Search. So now what I want to show you is this other feature called My Books, or this other page on Bookji called My Books. You get here from clicking on these dots more and clicking on My Books. And so what you'll see as an administrator of the school is this page. Now, a lot of these features on a trial account aren't available, so you may not see this. Actually, you will see this page, but you won't be able to use some of them, like import books, where you can import your book catalog and have the books that are in your catalog displayed with a check mark on our site when kids are looking at the site. And so I'll walk you through that in a later part of the video, but I want to start with this Reading Now tab. And so what this is the books that you are reading at the moment. So it's a way of organizing and logging and keeping track of the books that you're reading at the moment. And so as you can see, I'm reading a few books. I've only really started to read A Little Princess, but there's a lot of cool things that you can do while you're reading a book. So the first thing you can see, or the first thing I'll show you is the book progress. So you can see all the reading progress that you've made. So basically, I have read up to page 50. I visited London in the book, and I can see all my progress. So this part of the thing, I reacted with an emoji to it, and I'll show you how to create these book progress entries. So what you're gonna do is click this plus button, and you can type in, I read to page, say, 75. You can add a comment about the reading. You can add a reaction to the reading. It was fire. And what you can do here is add a place. So if the main character in the story traveled to a new location, they were in London and they traveled to India, or or even they made a minor change, like in Catcher in the Rye, they went from Central Park to a hotel, or specific locations you can search up. So in this book, it takes place in London. I went to London. You can see that that's right here. I can add this place. I can change the bearing, so I can change how it's presented when I go and view it on the platform, and that'll change here. You can kind of just basically customize this place, and so I can add a comment. I can add images. These are some images that we get directly from the Smithsonian's API. And so I can look at images of London, add them if I'd like, and then I can click this Add Place button. And so once I save this place will be added to the list of places and associated with this page 75 that I've read. And so that's how you add book progress to a book that you're reading on Bookji. And I'll show you how to add a book to this Reading Now page. Right now, you can also do it on this page. At the very bottom, there's a click plus to start reading a book, but there's multiple different places that you can start reading a book from. So one of those is actually right here from the reading list. And this is a different tab on this My Books page. And basically what it is a compilation of the books that you want to read. And it's the same view for students as it is for an administrator, which I'm logged in as. And basically you can either just remove it from your reading list or start reading it. You also have the books that you've completely read. So once you've completely read a book, you get the option of reacting to it with an emoji. And so these are listed here. You can also click on this to see all the locations that are part of this book and that you recorded. And you can finally click and see all the places that you have been in all your books combined. So this is just you. It's not anyone else in the class. As I can see, I have one place here that I visited from A Little Princess, which is London. And so that's kind of how, and this is the same view for students. So they can kind of keep track on a map, on an interactive map, all the places that they have been throughout their readings. And so the next thing that I want to show you is a book algorithm to match students to book, which is actually how this whole platform started. So this is another feature on Bookji that you can access by clicking on this little robot here, and it kind of signifies a book algorithm. And it's basically a starting point more for younger readers that gives them direction to go in if they are completely lost and they don't know what to do and they don't know where to start with finding a book. Basically what it is you answer a few fun questions and we will recommend books to you. So what you want to do is, I would like a humor book, and can answer all these questions. So this is sort of asking about who the main character would want to be. I'll be a knight, and I really like thrilling books. I'd like to be a superhero. I'd want to fly. Excitement. And then right here, I can rate how important all these attributes are. So I do really want a funny book. Don't care as much what the main character is like. I do like thrilling books, and I do really want to be a superhero. So now, at the end of it, takes a couple seconds. I'm recommended some books and places to start. So it's just a really easy way and a really fun way of getting students started with reading. Okay, so moving on. What I wanted to show you next was the home page, and we've seen this page before. Right when you log in, this is the page that you're greeted with, and it's the page that your students will be greeted with every time they log into the site. And so I wanted to walk you through the different types of content on it, what you can do with it, and how your students can interact with it. So basically, right away, you see these 5 tabs up here that all have different types of content. Right now we're on the Discover tab. That's the normal, so to discover new books. And basically, first thing you see is a book trailer, and it's just a random book trailer that's associated with the student's grade. And then you see top books the students are reading right now. So you can see the top books in the US that the students are reading. And so like this book, for example, is 3 students across the US that are reading this book. You can also see other ones by clicking these arrows or dragging across. You can see trending genres. You can see new releases. You can click this to see more of them if you want. You can also see trending posts, and you can react to posts. For example, I've reacted to this post already, but I can react to it in a different way. I thought this book is really funny, and I really liked this book trailer, so I reacted to that post with the rolling on the floor laughing emoji. But basically, this is just a bunch of different content about books that's popular on the site in this tab. Before I go to the other tabs, I wanted to quickly show you this right-hand side. So on the right-hand side, you can see your profile, different elements about it. You can filter different grades. So right now I am, as an administrator, I have all grades clicked on, but you can click on different grades and it'll adjust the content on the site so that I'm only seeing books relevant for 5th graders or 4th graders or 6th graders and so on. When a student logs in, they'll automatically be assigned to the right grade. So they're not going to be automatically assigned to all grades. They'll be assigned to 5th grade if they're in a 5th grade class. So they'll only see content from books that is appropriate for their grade. And so they can change that using this filter, but it's automatically assigned in that way. So this next tab right here is called emojis. So I'm going to click on that. And basically what it is just showing content that is associated with emojis. So I can click on this link right here to go to the Emoji Search page that I showed you earlier. I can see recent emoji reactions from books, like this was a really good book, and that's very in line reaction to it. I can see other reactions. I can see posts from public accounts that have emoji reactions. Some just might be interesting to see that. The next thing we can see is locations. So basically these are either posts about locations or different books from locations. So sometimes it'll show you either the place you are located in, or it'll show you just a random place. So it could be books from Japan or books from New York or books from Florida in this case. And so, oh, that's interesting to me. I'm going to look through these books. And I can also see books so this book takes place in Paris. It was tagged with the Paris, France location. So whenever a public account, tag or topic in this case, tags a post with a location, it could appear in this location book posts. So you can filter through these. This one takes place in New York, this in London. These are just different posts that are associated with locations that you can look through. The next section is called topics, and so this is a really cool part about Bookji. Basically, what topics are, or what they allow you to do, is follow more content and more specific content that you're interested in. So I'm going to give a bit of a tutorial on how they work, how you can create one, who can create one, and what they can do. So right now, looking at this page, you can see a bunch of different topics, and there's different types of them. So these are general ones, there's location topics, there's series topics, authors, books, and so basically there's a little self-explanatory, the different types of topics, but for example, we have right here this fast-paced superhero books for middle schoolers. So that's a pretty specific category. As you can see right here, there's the grades are 4th through 8th grade for the books. It's a general topic, how many followers they have. And so I can click on this topic and I can see the different contents about it. So basically, if I were to follow this topic, which I can do right now, this means that when I go to my feed page, I'll get posts from this topic. So I'm really into superhero books. And the middle school level is appropriate for me. So I'm gonna follow this topic, and I'd like to see the posts in my feed page. So basically, how a topic works is, or I'll go through first all the different elements of a topic. So as you can see right now, here are just posts to this topic. These are video posts, so you can basically see which ones are, media related posts. You also get a book list. So this is just a list of books that are a part of the topic. So if I was just interested in these books and I just wanted to see, what's a fast-paced superhero book for a middle schooler, I could go and I could look at this book list and see if anything stands out to me. This one seems pretty cool. This one's a really great book. So that's that. I can also add a book to this book list as an educator. A student can't do that, but as an administrator and an educator on Bookji, that's kind of the whole point that we're trying to make, is that the educators own the platform and they can kind of control it, so I can also add a book if I wish. So that's one part of it. There's also a map portion of it, and there's no locations because this is more of like a superhero book, but this might be more prevalent in one of the location topics. So that's kind of just an example of a topic, and yeah. So kind of how they work, going on to how they work. Basically, anyone can post to a topic, or not anyone, any educator or librarian. So, for example, I'm logged in as an administrator of a school, and what I can do is I can post to this topic as an administrator. So if I have this really great recommendation or found this really cool YouTube video about superhero books, I can make a post to this topic, and the people that follow this topic will be able to see my post about it. And right here, what you can see is this fast-paced superhero books for middle schoolers made this post. So if you own the topic, if you created the topic, you have the option of either posting as an educator, or you can make a post as the topic itself. So that's why you can see that this topic made a post basically to itself. So I could type in a caption, I could add, see it's going to this topic, I could add a book cover, a GIF, a YouTube video, etc. And then I can click this button to make my post. And so that's kind of how they work. What I'll show you now is going back to the home page, into the topics page. What I'll show you now how to do is create a topic. So as an educator, not as a student, you can create your own topics. So I can click on this. I can give it, basically just fill out this form. So my topic, I can add a description. I can choose a profile image. I can click on this button and add one from my computer. Right now we only have public topics, but we're adding a feature to make topics also private if you'd like. I can choose an audience. So it's either all users or only educators, which means that you can make a topic just for educators that students can see. When you click on that, it changes down here to only educators. I'll make this all users. You can set a grade. So if it's like more higher level middle school or like 6th grade and up, I could choose 6th grade as the min grade and 8th grade as the max grade. And then it's basically not really going to recommend this topic to anyone below that grade. I can choose a general, a location. If it's a location, then I can choose a location. So maybe it's books from San Francisco. So maybe I have, I think I spelled that wrong, but San Francisco. Anyway, but or Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, California. Books from Los Angeles, California could be the name of the topic. And I save this location, Los Angeles, California. You'll see right here. So this would be like books from Los Angeles. And there we go. Then you could go create your topic. When you choose an image, it'll be here. You click create topic, and then you can start making posts to the topic. You can start having followers. Other people can make posts to your topic, and students can also do the same since the audience is all users. So that's kind of how you go through creating a topic. Going back to the topics page. Yeah, that's kind of how they work. Basically, the different admin levels associated with it. So to kind of recap, only educators and administrators on the platform can create topics and post the topics. So basically, when I'm looking at a topic, it has been content that has been posted by a librarian or a teacher. So when students go and look at it, you can be like assured that all the content they're looking at has been coming from a teacher or a librarian that's on Bookji, not from a student or some random person or anything like that. So that's kind of how they work. So another feature I wanted to show you about Bookji is this search bar. You've probably seen it on the navigation bar this whole time. And I wanted to show you how it works. It's pretty simple, but basically if you want to search content or books or users, topics, etc., you can make a search for them. So let's say I wanted to, search something, so spies. So basically what it'll return is a list of books. Right here we can filter by the dim, so I can see all books, any users there's no users named spies, any topics. So here's a topic with spies. We can also see different subjects. So here are different subjects about spies. So spies, comics, etc. You can click on these, juvenile fiction, spies, and spying, and you can see all the books related to that subject. You can also, going back, this is kind of just a collection of all the different search results, but you can just see, it's just a way of just quickly searching on Bookji's platform what exists. So I want to search up a book, I want to search up Harry Potter, I want to search up American Born Chinese, or a specific book that I want to find more information about. You can do that. And so basically, once you do that and you find a book you like, so for example, let's do American Born Chinese. I think that's a good example. So I clicked right away on the book, but I also wanted to show this page. So this is called the book information page. And so basically, it's just kind of a collection of all the information about the book. And what we can see here is first the cover image, the title, the author, a synopsis of the book. We can also see different statistics. So this book doesn't have any yet, but you can see how many students have this book on their reading list, how many students are reading the book currently, and how many students have read this book all time and have marked it as such on Bookji. You can also click down, or you can also scroll down here and see where this book takes place. So it takes place in San Francisco, Chinatown, and you can see that on a map. You can relate that to kind of, okay, here's where this book takes place, and maybe I live in New York, and I can see that on a map very easily, and it's kind of associated with this book. It brings that part of this book to life. You can see different information. You have different actions. So if I read this book, I can add an emoji reaction to it right away. I can add it right away to my reading list. I could start reading this book. If I have the physical book and I wanted to log it with Bookji, I could start reading the book right from here. I can also see different genres that this book is associated with. So for example, graphic novel. I could click on this and it'll take me to a genre page with information about other graphic novels. Sort of similar to the homepage, but this only has to do with graphic novels. Here's a book trailer. Here's some other graphic novels, a list of more graphic novel books, different posts about graphic novels. So it's kind of just a cool way of learning more and finding more books with a specific genre. So I'll go back to this page. You can click on realistic fiction or science fiction and see different science fiction books. That's something I would be super interested in. But I can also show you, there's also more, trying to find a book with a, so for example, we also display trailers too, or if the book has a series, we also display different information about that. So I'll show you with this example. So as you can see different books in the series right away. This is the number 9 in the Dogman series. Here's a book trailer about the book. This doesn't have a location associated with it, so I'm not seeing a location. But basically what this page is doing is adding more dimensions to a book. So instead of just seeing this book on the shelf and really not knowing a lot about it, what we're doing with Bookji is we're displaying all this other information that could be interesting to students. Right away, here's a book trailer. Right away, here is where it's located on the map. Here, all the other information about it, like how many other students are reading it. You can also see if it has emoji reactions. You can see the emoji reactions people have made. So basically, we're adding more dimensions to a book and making it more interesting for kids to look at and maybe start reading. So that's kind of how this book information page works. So the next thing I'm going to show you how to do on Bookji as an administrator is upload your school's book catalog to Bookji. So what I'm going to do is click on these 3 dots. I'm going to go back to My Books, and then I'm going to click on this Import Books button. And so this feature is only available to active subscribing users of Bookji. So if you're just on a free trial, then it won't be available to you. But basically, we give you 2 options. You can either import your books from Destiny, or you can upload your own CSV file. So we give instructions on how to do both. Basically, if you're going to do it from Destiny, we give instructions on how to export the books from Destiny in the format we'd like. And same thing here, you can compile a CSV file or an Excel file of your books in a specific format that we can use, and you can upload them that way if you're not using Destiny. What I'll do right now is I'll show you how to do it from Destiny. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to come here, you're going to click on a file. I'm going to search Destiny, import destiny.csv. I'm going to open that file. I'm going to give this library a name. So basically, this name is what's going to be presented to students. So I'm importing the main library's book catalog. So whenever they are looking at a book on Bookji, if the book is available in the library, there'll be a little check mark in the bottom right-hand corner. When they hover over that check mark, it'll say, this book is available in the main library. If there's multiple libraries in your school, then you'll have to upload different CSV files for each different library. And so this question down here is asking if, say you're uploading just the middle school library or the 6th grade library, or if there's a specific grade associated with the books that you're uploading, you can add that, or you can leave it blank, optional. So that's what I'm going to do in this import. Basically, now it's starting the import. It says that I have almost 30,000 books, so it'll take a second. So now it says that my import was completed. I'm going to click OK. And what I can see is I have my import history right when I do my import. So I can see that this is for the main library. I had 3,000 books in here. And basically, we detected 2,472 of them. 600 of them were incomplete. Normally, those are just more like encyclopedia type books or other types of books that we can't really get the information for. We don't have it on our platform, so we can't import them. It's more difficult to import them. So basically, I've imported my library catalog, and I'm good to go. And I can start having my students see what books are located in my library. Okay, another thing that I wanted to show for librarians and administrators about Bookji is basically a way of, making Bookji a better tool. So earlier I talked a little bit about how librarians and educators are going to kind of own the platform and make sure the content is correct about it. Basically, what you can do is if you don't see a book that's on our platform, you can come to My Books and you can click on Add a Book. And you can walk through this form. It's very self-explanatory, and you can add a book to Bookji's platform only as an administrator or an educator. Another way of editing a book or adding to a book is, I'll look up Percy Jackson, for example. This book will do fine. Is as an educator and librarian, you can, for the moment, edit a book. We might change this in the future, but as of right now, you can edit a book or add it to your library. So if it didn't get picked up by our system, you can add it to your library by clicking this button, or you can go ahead and edit a book. So if I wanted to say I saw this really cool book trailer on YouTube and I wanted to add it, then I can go over here to this other information, book videos. I want to add a trailer video, the type of video, it's a book trailer, and I paste in the YouTube URL. I save the changes, and that adds a book trailer to be associated with this book. So with the book trailer specifically, in this example, we really want to keep it so that they're like official book trailers, not fan-made book trailers. So if you can, please don't upload any book trailers that aren't official. You can also change the cover if it's wrong. Basically, this is just a tool if something's wrong or seems off so that other students don't get confused. For the time being, we're letting librarians and educators kind of police the platform and edit the content. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show you is how to view the different reading statistics and analytics that we compile about your students. And so another thing on Bookji that we do is we kind of display information about how students are interacting with the platform, what books they're reading compared to their peers, etc. You want to see information about a specific student that's on the platform. What you want to do is go to My School, then click on the My Students tab. And for example, this is a list of all the students that I'm logged in as an administrator, so these are the students that are in my school. If you're an educator, just an educator that's a part of a school, then you'll just see the students that are part of your classes. But for example, I'll click on this student, Thomas, and look at his reading profile. And so basically this is the front page. It kind of gives you an overview. So this is the student's avatar, their username, their grade, etc. This is the number of books they're reading now, how many they've read all time, the different genres the student has read, and the average grade level of their 3 most recent books. So that's kind of just an overview of this student. And then you can click on this genres tab. And what we do is we give a breakdown of the different genres that Thomas, for example, has read. So he has really done a great job of spreading out all of the different genres that he's read, but this feature is mainly here to show if like a student is only reading, say, like fantasy books. You can kind of see it graphically, like if the thing is 80% fantasy books, 1% of adventure books, or something along those lines. Maybe the student's reading a lot, but maybe a way to help them would be to introduce them to new genres, because that could be really great for their reading development. You can also see over time what genres the student is reading, and you can also click on these. So these are just books that they've read. You can see what books they want to read, so it's kind of split between adventure and fiction books that Thomas wants to read, and just books that they have clicked on as well. So you can kind of just he's sort of more interested in adventure, science fiction, books. This is just him interacting with the platform. So there's a lot of information to be known about this student in particular. Moving on, we have a reading level. So this is the last 3 books that the student has read compared to the class that they're a part of. So this is grade 6 is reading at this level, and Thomas is a little under that. So graphically representing that. Then just stuff about Thomas. These are the books he's reading now. These are the books that he has read and the emoji reactions he's given. These are the books he wants to read. These are all the places that this student in particular has been. So this is just all for the teacher's view to kind of keep track of individual students, and it makes it really easy to see all their information. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you, finishing up, is basically the profile. This is your profile as an educator on the platform. You can edit your profile. You can see your different posts. You can filter. So if I want to see what my students are seeing, I can click on this button, and this is all the posts I've made to students. I can go back to all posts or classes or the posts that I've made to topics, and I can just kind of filter that way. I can see the favorite books I've given. So right now I've only added 1 book to my favorite book. I can also see emoji reactions I've made. So this is visible to anyone that comes and visits the platform. And I can see my followers, how many people I've followed and requested. I can change my profile. Either I can upload a photo or I can choose an avatar, one of these. And so that's kind of just how your profile works, a quick overview. Next, I wanted to show quickly the difference between the profile and the account page. So basically, this is my account details. I can go change my reading level. I can enter a new email, username, update my password, and I can also manage my subscription. So right now, I have 1,000 students on my plan. I subscribed earlier this month. I can either update my plan, upgrade it. I want to add 500 students. I can click on that and go through that process. I can cancel the subscription. It'll prompt me that it'll terminate my subscription. If I want to do this, I don't want to do it. But that's kind of how the account page works really quickly. Okay, and the final part that I wanted to cover is very quick. It's just a report a problem button. It's located on any page that looks like this, and you can easily, if you find a duplicate book or inappropriate content or something that's wrong, you can report a problem really easily and we will get to fixing it. So that's how you do that. You go through this, enter I found 2 of these books, or this was inappropriate, and give some detail, click save, and we will immediately fix the problem. So that's how you report a problem on Bookji. So just to close out, thank you for listening to this tutorial on how to use Bookji. And if you have any questions at all, you can email Bookji or me, and we will help you out. You can go to the Learn More page and click on the contact information and send me an email if you need any help setting up or have any further questions with how to use the platform. But I hope this was very helpful, and I hope that you really enjoy Bookji as much as I do. So thank you.